So you just moved out of your parents' house, probably into your own apartment, maybe your own house if you've got it like that. In this economy, I envy you. I myself just did that back in October. I moved out of my parents' house in Chicago and moved to here. Here will get revealed down the line. Subscribe. And the one thing that I learned when starting the process of moving is that everything, and I mean everything, when it comes to having your own space is expensive, especially in today's day and age. But the one thing that caught me the most off guard in terms of how expensive it is furniture. Any type of furnishing, decorations, whatever it is, when it comes to trying to get your place to not feel empty, shallow, and dull, it costs money, you know? It costs a lot of money. And if there's any of you that are also in the process of moving out, thinking of moving out, or just want some tips and tricks, welcome, because I figured it out and its name is Facebook Marketplace. Anytime you go on a used buying site, it's pretty much your best friend when it comes to any of this, because god damn. So I'm gonna take you through my apartment and show you everything that I have here that I got from Facebook Marketplace. Spoiler alert, it's pretty much everything. Now, we're gonna start in the one room where you're probably gonna first enter whenever you get to your apartment or home. It's the living room. And it's also where I have the most items that I actually purchased. This, out of pretty much most other rooms that I have in my apartment, is where I have the most furniture at. So if you watched my last video, if you did, go watch that last video, but do it after watching this video. I talked about how it's important to have accents, a differentiation in color and material, to really just bring some life into the space. Now, the vast majority of my furniture, also because it's extremely common to find, are anything with like a darker wood tone and metal accents. Specifically, this like dark wood tone with black brushed or anodized metal look. This shelving unit that I have here is like that. These tiny side tables are like that. There's another one on the opposite side of the couch. The coffee table is also like that. And while the entertainment center isn't like that, because it has a silver metal, it still has the darker brown, so it kind of still fits the bill. Now, my desk in my bedroom also uses pretty much the exact same colorways, same material choices. It's just kind of a very common thing. It still looks good. And it's like a more basic choice, but when you're on a budget, it's a good blend that you can use when it comes to looking for furniture, as long as you pair it with other stuff and don't just stick to that. Now, the TV, it was a gift. If you're blessed enough that you have people that are willing to give you this kind of gift, by all means, please take advantage of it, especially in this economy. Now, this is where the magic of Facebook Marketplace comes in, and this is the one thing that people kind of get discouraged on. Not everybody wants to get to scrolling for who knows how long on Facebook Marketplace just to try to find a good deal. The reality is though, sometimes you have to. This couch is solid. There isn't a single scratch, rip, or stain on it. It is clean. I got it for $40. 40 bucks. Do you know how much couches cost? It is ridiculous how much it costs to buy a sofa. Are we serious? $40, steal. It is blue. There isn't much else in my space that is blue, but that's kind of where I reference back to the video I made before. Having some color is not a bad idea. The blue couch, since it's a darker navy blue, works perfectly fine with the rest of the darker accents. Doesn't do anything to disrupt the flow. On it, I put some throw pillows, which I did not get on Facebook Marketplace. Personally, when it comes to fabrics and upholstery, I'm not as trusting when it comes to other people's stuff, minus of course the couch, which was cleaned. Throw pillows I bought brand new. These are green. Now, although maybe, you know, with the blue, a little bit of an awkward pairing depending on who you ask, that goes very well and almost gives a woodsy feel to the rest of the stuff that's here. Goes well with the tan, and that's why I also got brownish tan beige throw pillows. The apartment has tan walls, and then you have the wood accents on literally every other piece of furniture. The green works beautifully with that. And it's a very soft, very sagey green, so it isn't exactly something that is just in your face. That's where you have to really figure out complementary colors to, well, figure out what pairs best. Then we get to the area behind the couch, and this is where I tried to bring a little bit of the blue back with the table cover that I use on this table that I found. Now granted, I found this table once I moved here. I brought most of this furniture with me from Chicago, just made it easier to move. This was something that I planned out after I already had all of this set up. Most of these pieces I got before I even moved in. So pairing them together was kind of like you had to picture it in your head, and sometimes that's just how it goes. This one, I already knew how the rest of the space looked together, so I was able to find something that paired pretty well. Now this one for 100% is solid wood, and then it has these metal legs. Got the table cover at Target. Worked out perfectly fine. And then when it comes to putting stuff on it, just try to have a little bit of decoration. Ignore the half-dead plant. It's fine. Get a candle. Even if you're a dude, get a candle, man. Like, just don't have your place smelling weird. Like, what is it with guys and just not smelling? Like, what? Candle ain't gay, dude. Just get the candle. Here I have a Lego bonsai tree. Add some color to your space, man. Welcome to the corner of my apartment. This was probably one of the toughest areas to try to get something to work. Around Christmas, this is where I actually put the tree, and I stuffed these in the closet. That was a chore. Now, these I actually didn't get on Facebook Marketplace. My mom originally got them off Craigslist back in the day and reupholstered them. Gave them to me when I was moving, mainly because we didn't use them anywhere in the house, so they came with me. Now, in terms of going with everything else, the upholstery doesn't really fit, but it does have the blue and the green accents, which kind of works with my throw pillows and the couch. So in other words, they actually have managed to kind of blend in just based off of some of the other stuff that I have. They just happen to work. I have my guitar set up over here. It's not fully plugged in or anything at the current moment. At this point, I'm just kind of using it for decoration, which sometimes that's fine. You can have some stuff sitting around just decoratively being used just as a centerpiece. There's nothing wrong with it. And of course, it also, in this case, when I do want to play guitar, gives me an actual space to do it. This lamp I did get off Facebook Marketplace. Purchased it, bought new bulbs, cleaned it, works perfectly fine. Now, at this point in the video, I'll say, this entire living room space, including everything I bought for it, probably cost me a little less than $400. To put this into perspective, one couch can cost you more than $400. So as long as you play your cards right and you're looking around for some good finds, you'll be completely fine, you'll be good to go. Now there may be a couple of you asking about these lamps right here, which I actually added flame bulbs to, which I think is pretty cool. And when the rest of the place isn't lit up, really just gives it like this weird, almost like eerie medieval vibe, as if you're walking through the hallways of a castle. It's pretty sick. These were built by my father. I got inspiration from something that I saw on Pinterest, and we built them ourselves. In terms of the materials, I definitely could have bought some side table lamps that were way cheaper than these things, but well, I'm a designer and we got creative. As for just any other decorations in the space, pretty much all of them were ones that I already had. Knickknacks from my childhood. I mean, hell, I have a bunch of Lego cars sitting all over the place and just other Lego stuff. Sometimes toys work as pretty solid decoration pieces, and my space looks lively because of it. So if you think that you have something that you think is dumb, you're like, hey, I have this pink Barbie Lego set sitting around, I don't know, throw it on your countertop. It might actually bring the space to life. Don't be afraid to try stuff. Now the kitchen doesn't actually have much going on here at all. I just thought I'd show it. That's my pot of rice over there because I eat healthy. There really isn't anything that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace here. Most of this stuff was just gifts that my family helped with. Other than that fruit basket that has no fruit in it currently, mainly because I ate it all. And some of these things like the paper towel holder you can get off Amazon, which for some odd reason they make it a point to say that this is the bottom, as if I wouldn't have figured it out. That's my microwave, that's the stove. This is a fridge, if you can believe it. And last but certainly not least, we have the bedroom. This is where the action happens. The video action. This is where I make my video. What the hell are you guys thinking? The bed frame I already had. I've had this bed frame ever since we moved into the last house that we had. So I've had this thing for well over 3 years at this point. There's some stuff you don't need to get rid of. Some stuff, if it still works, just keep it. These old nightstands, even though they're a little dinky, I've had them for a good long while. They fit in perfectly with the space. No reason to find something new. Repurpose stuff that you already have, especially if you're tight on money. These two lamps, we already had them and I brought them with me. We weren't using them. They had a different lampshade. The lampshade they originally had was this blue with like this copper on the inside. Did not work with the space whatsoever. So what do? You spend a little bit of money on a new lampshade and it gives it a completely new vibe that actually fits with the space. Sometimes the changes you need to make to certain pieces of furniture to make sure that you still stay within your budget and can make your space feel nice isn't really all that big. You don't need to make giant drastic changes. You don't need to buy something brand new for it. This dresser, bought pretty cheap. Originally, it was kind of ugly. So what do? Teach yourself a skill. Sanded the whole thing down, painted it, and refreshed and buffed out the metal handles. Why is my International Space Station broken? Lamp, bought it off Facebook Marketplace. It applies good lighting to the space whenever I am recording. Whiteboard, did not get that off Facebook Marketplace. In fact, this didn't come with me at all. That has an entirely different story. Don't know where to put it yet, to be completely honest. Might go in the garage. And workshop table, did buy this on Facebook Marketplace. Didn't really have a reason for wanting to fit it with the space or anything. This isn't for aesthetic purposes. It's just because I have tools. 2 3D printers, didn't get them off Facebook Marketplace, bought these brand new and my wallet felt it. And then I have a lot of stuff down there. I kind of need to reorganize this space a little bit. It's not great. And last, but certainly not least, the desk space. This is where the videos are made. This is where everything gets done. The desk follows pretty much the same structure as a lot of the furniture that is in the living room. Darker wood top, black metal frame. It's a cheap, but it's a good looking mix that's just, it works out in a lot of spaces. These shelves for a lot of storage that probably kind of need to clean up a little bit, follows kind of the same deal. Dark wood, dark metal. It's functional. Computer setup, I've had it for years. I don't think I've even really made any upgrades to it, honestly, besides changing the mic and having the digital interface for a lot more control over everything. And then the light that I have, which shines light on my precious face. But what did we learn? Don't be afraid of used buying sites, especially when you're on a budget. Now, make sure that you're also being very wary of what you're finding on there. Obviously, some people get a little uncomfortable with buying things secondhand because they're like, ew, icky, gross. People have sat on that, yuck. Yeah, if somebody's asking for like $700 for a couch that's been used and sat in and it has butt stink on it, probably avoid it. If it looks like someone's been living on the couch, maybe avoid that couch. Just gotta do your due diligence to find something good, and you can. There's nothing that says you can't have a decent looking apartment that feels like a home for a cheap cost, or at least semi-affordable, something that isn't exactly gonna cost you over $10,000. It can be achieved. It can 100% be achieved. And if you have time before you're actually gonna move and the weather's warm enough, go to garage sales, see what you can find there. If you look hard enough, you'll find a deal that's good enough. But yeah, that's the apartment tour. Welcome to the brand new headquarters of Senestin Inc. Subscribe. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, follow me on all my socials. All those are linked down in the description. Today's verse of the day is from the book itself and not off of the screen because I'm using my phone to record this and the computer's over there. Today's verse is from Acts chapter 20, verse 35. And it reads, "And I have been a constant example of how you can help those in need by working hard. You should remember the words of the Lord Jesus. It is more blessed to give than to receive." God bless everybody, and I hope that wherever you guys are, whenever you guys are watching today's video, you have a great, wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.